What's happening there, guys, and welcome to Cars Insider. There are millions of cars on the road today, so there are bound to be many mistakes that happen as a result of them being driven. In this video, we're taking a look at the 20 most embarrassing automobile mistakes ever. But before we get started with that, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos going forward. Number 20, speeding through empty streets.
Yo! He's broken out!
Yo, this dude is drunk.
When the pandemic hit, car drivers from all over the world found the chance to drive their cars without regard to their speed. One such instance of speeding that was recorded resulted in the driver crashing his Jambala Mirage GT onto a parked car on the streets of New York. Number 19, taking a dip. A Lamborghini decided to take a dip into a lake after its driver lost control while trying to drift on a track. Even though Lambos are powerful cars, they're sure tough to handle, aren't they? Number 18, threading the needle. One of the most common actions that result in a car crashing is when a driver tries to drive through a narrow road at high speeds. That's exactly what happened when a driver in London tried to drive through a road that was clearly meant to be driven at slow speeds. Number 17, trying to enter a casino. A guy in a Rolls Royce ended up crashing his expensive car into the security barrier outside a casino when he tried to drive right up to the front gate of the place. That crash was not only expensive, but super embarrassing as well. Number 16, Bugatti into a lake.
He wrecked. Oh shit.
Supercars like Bugatti are meant to be driven on finely paved asphalt roads, but one driver had something else in mind. They took their car and chose to drive on a narrow dirt road that was beside a giant lake. Even though a well-paved road was available, the driver chose to ignore it. Number 15, damaged windshield. Ordinarily, cars are damaged when something crashes into them or they crash into something, but that wasn't the case here. The window of a Lamborghini ended up getting smashed in after a guy stood on it in order to flex his wealth to the world. Number 14, multi-car pileup. Crashing one car is child's game in this day and age, but making a mistake so big that it results in multiple cars crashing is on a whole new level. During the Macau GT, one car crashing around a bend caused many others behind it to crash into it. All in all, a total of 16 cars ended up crashing into each other. Number 13, being mesmerized by a car. This is one of those crashes that wasn't the fault of the supercar involved. When the driver of a van came across a Pagani Zonda F, he was so entranced by it that he forgot his steering control and crashed right into it. Number 12, skidding a Lamborghini. If there's one thing that people should know before driving a supercar is that they're really fast. That might seem obvious, but believe us, it isn't. A driver accelerated a brand new Lamborghini on a very short stretch of road, and it ended up skidding out onto the footpath and crashing into a tree. Number 11, crashing a vintage car. Do you know what's worse than crashing a rare car? Crashing one that's also vintage. This is exactly what happened when a driver skidded out of control in a 1960s Ferrari. The car slid on the grass for a long time before crashing into the sides of the track that it was being driven on. Number 10, leaving a meetup. When a car was leaving a supercar meetup in the Netherlands, the driver decided to floor the accelerator pedal, which resulted in them losing control and sliding off the road. Pretty embarrassing, wouldn't you say? Number 9, a car guy's worst nightmare. A particularly brutal crash happened in Japan, and it was made that way due to the cars involved in it. Multiple supercars were driving along a highway, and due to some mistake, many of them ended up crashing into each other. This resulted in more than 10 supercars being damaged. Number 8, Post Malone's crash. Even famous celebrities are prone to crashing their cars at some point in their career. The same happened to Post Malone, who's one of the most famous rappers in the industry. Due to a mistake he made, his $300,000 worth car ended up crashing into a Kia. This event immediately went viral due to the fact that people all around him were filming the side of the crash. Number 7, crashing in Monaco. One of the types of crashes that hurt the most is when it either results in an expensive car getting damaged or a crowd gathering after the crash. A poor soul had to deal with both these things after crashing their car into a bunch of expensive ones in Monaco of all places. 3 cars were damaged as a result of this crash. Number 6. McLaren crashes into Audi. While blunders can often be relatively inexpensive if the car was going at a slow speed before crashing, that doesn't necessarily apply to supercars. This is exactly what happened when a McLaren lost control and crashed into an Audi R8. Even though the driver wasn't going at high speeds, this crash meant a heavy price tag for the repairs. Number 5. Crashing on the track. Testing out an expensive car on the track is all well and good, that is until things go unexpectedly wrong. This is what happened when someone was driving a very rare Ferrari. During practice, the guy went just a tad bit fast, and this resulted in him crashing the car into a concrete barrier. Number 4. Smashing into a tree. Having powerful cars often triggers people to show off in public, and that's exactly what this driver was doing before they crashed into a tree. The driver was on a public road and was doing a burnout on it. This led to the car unfortunately losing control, sliding onto the curb, and finally hitting a tree. Number 3. Fragile nature. While supercars sure are fun to drive, never make the mistake of thinking they're built different. One unfortunate driver was casually leaving a car parked with his Lamborghini and, due to not seeing a concrete block on the road, smashed right into it. This caused a literal piece of his car to fall right off. Number 2. Making unnecessary noise. One of the most annoying things about powerful cars is their exhaust and the noises that come out of it. One man had had enough of that noise and decided to take things into his own hand. He picked up a handful of rocks and started to hurl them at a Lamborghini that was making a lot of noise on an empty street. Number 1. Veering off course. Time and time again, it's been proven that supercars are difficult to control, but the drivers don't seem to learn their lesson. A driver of a LaFerrari actually slid off a multi-lane road and smashed into 3 parked cars that were just sitting there. So these were the 20 most embarrassing automobile mistakes ever made. There are many more happening each and every second, and they're unlikely to stop anytime soon. This about wraps up our video, which we hope you guys had a blast watching. And if you did, don't forget to let us know your appreciation by smashing that like button, and if you haven't done so already, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as hit that bell so you don't miss out on our future videos going forward. Until next time, take care and goodbye.